All right, so let's talk about the online safety of your money. And there has been reports that social media advertisements have been misleading and, in fact, a web of online frauds. Now, recently, we've seen a woman clicking on and modeling assignment advertisement for her child, and she was given a few challenges, and it actually resulted in the loss of 4 lakh rupees from her savings account. So, what kind of online frauds are we talking about? Let's discuss more on this. We have with us Nitin Bhatnagar, PCI SS Director, India. Nitin, good evening and welcome to the show. And Nitin, these kind of online frauds are not new, but then we are talking about social media frauds which are gaining momentum, and we are seeing a lot of innovation coming up from these scamsters, from the fraudsters also. What is this latest incident? And it specifically talks about giving the victim a particular challenge, okay, some kind of a task where initially they see or they feel that they are getting money, they are earning something out of it, but eventually they lose out not only what they earned or what they made, but also whatever they had in the bank account, leading to an online scam. So what kind of a scam are we talking about over here?
Kavita, very unfortunate, but you know that the fraudsters are innovative, and they're innovating
Sure.
every day, different modes of ways to defraud the fraud the individuals, right? And I think, see, the your viewers need to understand, the frauds are typically conducted, they are basically trying to attract you with something. So you have to understand, you should not fall prey to such kind of tactics. I think you just very briefly challenge. It's nothing new. You see on the Facebook, right? You see on so many social media websites, you get a chance to click on some kind of an advertisement, where you say that you can click your future. You can know about what kind of personality that you are, how you are going to look, and people use all these applications which are available on these social media platforms. And what is happening is that you are trying to give away all your personally identified information, and that's what all these hackers would need to basically fraud you. Now, this is just one type of fraud that you talked. There are three different types of fraud which are prevailing today. There are investment and cryptocurrency scams which are happening. Scammers here offering you fake investment opportunities with promises of high returns and zero risk. Right? There are romance scams, where the scammers create fake profiles with the stolen photos of attractive people to lure in victims. That's what is becoming so popular today on the social media platforms. Shopping scams, which is one of the scams that you highlighted, right? It's almost like, you're trying to get some kind of ad redirection, users to replicated websites of popular retailers, or probably popular schools and colleges, or probably the popular whatever you can think of, right? And almost 70% of scam victims place an order for an online item, but they never either receive what is the intended outcome, that, or probably the intended product that they should be getting, right? And one thin line, what is that the users have to, your viewers needs to understand, these scams often involve urgency. They try to present some kind of offers as a limited time deals. And this may also include fake review on videos for the false endorsements. So these are the typical kind of frauds or the scams today that are prevalent. And the your viewers needs to understand, wherever you think that somebody is going to ask you, or somebody is asking you for your personally identified information, which could be your name, address, phone number, your KYC details, including your PAN, Aadhaar, or even your school information of where you have passed your 10th, 12th, where you have done your graduation, where have you done your post-graduation. You need to be cautious, because this is your personal information. You should not be sharing this on a public platform which is not authentic.
So, Nitin, apart from these, what are the red flags that one can actually, figure out while getting engaged with these kind of clicks and these kind of scams? How
Yeah.
can one understand that, they are going to become a victim of an online fraud?
See, they are going to use your emotional intelligence here. So what you are looking at. So, for example, I'm a parent, and and this is a summer vacation going on, by the way, right? People are the kids wants to do something innovative at their house, right? Without going out. There's a lot of parents do this, and they try to Google on try to find out ways where their kids can get involved, right? So you have to understand two things here. You should not, first of all, make a snap decision. People make snap decisions. Quickly they find very lucrative something and they just fall prey to it. There are always ways that these kind of frauds that happens create a high pressure tactics. And if you see that there is a high pressure tactics that has been involved, please do not afraid to say no, right? And if you are feeling that there's something is not right, request for more information in writing. You have emails to converse, right? You have ways you can pick up a phone and call them, right? And if at all, if it is a telemarketer, is trying to get you buy something or send them money right away, just hang up. That's the best way, because see, these kind of business are not going to just happen on the fly. You need to watch out for the urgency of the things. And what happens is that these fraudsters play with your emotions. So you have to be really on your toes. There has to be a ring that comes to your mind that, no, let me cross-verify. So I'm not saying you should not, everyone is not like that, but you have to trust the platforms. But at the same time, you need to verify the information before you take any steps. So primarily high pressure tactics that they use. And with the high pressure tactics, they try to make you take a decision quickly. And that's where, when you try to make a decision quickly, you fall prey to these kind of fraudsters.
Sure. Major red flags that one should be keeping in mind. But other type of observation or something that's also been in news, Nitin, is also about your OTP not being safe anymore. We remember having this discussion earlier also that OTP, two-factor authentication apparently is the safest way to have your presence on social media. But it seems even these are being hacked, and there are frauds conducted via two-factor authentication as well. How is that happening?
It's very interesting. See, multi-factor authentication is is considered as one of the best ways to protect your information. So let me just break it into three parts. So what is multi-factor authentication? So multi-factor authentication is something which is what you know is your password. It could be a password. It could be a passphrase. Something that you have, probably a token device or a smart card, or something that you are, that is your biometric, right? These are the three best classification that someone can do when it comes to the multi-factor authentication. And other type of information that could be used for the multi-factor authentication is geolocation and time, right, for the authentication process. Now, MFA is always considered as one of the robust defense, because it adds an extra layer of security beyond the traditional password protection. Now, what happens? I tell you the problem. What is happening is here. Social engineering. I think we also, Kavita, talked way back about social engineering attacks, right? And that's what the fraudsters are trying to play around. Now, social engineering plays a very key role in your multi-factor authentication bypass attacks. Now, they try to exploit the human vulnerabilities, right? Human vulnerabilities to deceive the user into compromising their authentication credentials. Now, hackers today are using psychological manipulation techniques to trick individuals, while they're tricking the individuals to reveal their login information or bypassing the MFA process altogether, right? By leveraging these kind of social engineering tactics, what are those tactics? These are phishing emails. We can talk about impersonation. We can talk about pretexting. Attackers can exploit the trust and extract all your valuable credentials. So what I'm trying to say is that you need to be really aware of such kind of attacks that can cause or lead to revealing your personally identified information. So you have to be really, really very cautious when you are dealing virtually or online, and when you are clicking on emails, when you are clicking on the attachments that you have received in the emails, which is not intended for you, could lead to this kind of problem where the hackers are trying to bypass your multi-factor authentication, right? So one is creating a strong password. Definitely, once you have a strong password. And when you talk about the second factor authentication, it could be a passphrase, or it could be an OTP. It could be a push-based notification on your mobile apps, on your email apps, which can throw some kind of a notification, which can be used as a way of authentication, which is you who only can accept it, right? You cannot, your email access would not be with anyone else, right? Even if if you want to add an additional layer of safety and security, you can put another text-based authentication which comes on your mobile. So there are ways that you can use to protect your social media accounts, to protect your email accounts, to protect all your applications of which is installed on your mobile devices from these kind of attacks.
All right. So apart from multi-factor authentication, which is the second best way to protect your online presence then, Nitin?
So I think beyond multi-factor authentication, say you need to, I said, push-based notifications. Push-based notifications are something where you are pushing authentication mechanism to any of your device. So they are authenticated devices, or they generate specific codes at the time of login, which you only know. So you can install those apps in your phone and you can use those codes specifically when you are logging into any of your account, right? So this is the best way. So you have to explore multiple options to secure your accounts. Now, repeatedly I've been telling in the past, when you are working in a corporate culture, right? We all work in corporate. Keep your personal devices and your professional devices separate, because what happens is that when you're using your personal devices for the business and the business devices for the personal, that's where these kind of situations and the problems arises, where the fraudsters or the hackers are trying to exploit those vulnerabilities to enter or penetrate into your systems.
All right. I think that will be all for today. Thank you so much for being on the show and helping our viewers understand their online and online financial security. Thank you so much, Nitin.
Thank you, Kavita. Thank you.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.